What's going on, guys? Welcome to Test This Tech, and wanted to talk about the RGDS as it team seems to be a big failure, and it's not even really officially out yet. Um, I wanted to talk about just kind of the obvious mishaps, and then also what Anbernic should do to turn this around, right? And it might be obviously them getting back into the lab to redesign a better RGDS. But I think Anbernic, instead of them focusing on the mobile, the budgetary aspect of the dual screen like a DS Lite, I think Anbernic should have went after the AYN Thor. They should have created a device, dual screen device to go against that. But before I talk about that point, kind of want to talk about just a little as far as some of these shortcomings. First, I was like, I feel like everyone's really hating on the RGDS because I initially was thinking Anbernic has made cheap devices before that have been really good and solid, and even some things with issues, but we've still have appreciated them. And I was first thinking, like, I feel like this is going to be like the RG 505, right? Or initially it was a good device, but there were some shortcomings on it. And then over time, it became much, much better because of Gamma OS that kind of changed everything. So I feel like the RGDS for Anbernic right now is kind of like the RG 505 of today. Retro Game Core has a really good video as far as for Gamma OS added to the RG 505 and how it completely changed the device. And I feel like RGDS will have that. That will happen for that. I know Gamma Squeeze is already working on Gamma OS for the RG DS. But also, Retro Game Core has a video talking about what are the shortcomings for the RGDS. Very good. I feel like it's the one video that goes into granular detail on some of the things that are actually definitely a problem with it. I feel like a lot of people they're comparing it against the Thor, which doesn't make any sense. I've seen a lot of videos where people do that. That makes zero sense to me because that's not what Anbernic was trying to do. But really, I just feel like it all goes towards. I feel like a lot of the issues of the RGDS is the chipset. They went with a cheap chipset, slightly more powerful, than like the RG Arc, but we shouldn't be dealing with RK chipsets at this point, right? Especially if you're doing, especially because they decided to add the dual screen, not the dual screen, not just the dual screen, but the dual analog sticks, the analog sticks. If you're going to add two analog sticks, we are thinking as a consumer, add more power to this so I can use these analog sticks on games that I know that are going to work well. So the chipset to me is really the culprit of this. Obviously, the RAM is an issue too, because it's going to limit a lot of things. Just a lot of red flags. A lot of red flags as far as in 2025, they're releasing a device in 2025 that isn't Google Play certified. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. But again, they're trying to cut the bloat, trim the fat, get more profit out of it when they release it. But I just think they're cutting too many corners, and they're really messing up the overall picture and the overall quality of the device. And I feel like that's just really what Anbernic has done here. Now, what they should have did to make a much better device that makes sense now, and as far as for where they should go towards, right? Instead of them, in my personal opinion, if instead of them going for a budgetary, similar DS, but it's Android, I think they should have just went full scale against the AYN Thor. That's the biggest device. That's the most popular device this year. It's arguably, a lot of people rate it as critically acclaimed the best device this year. Critically acclaimed. I don't know if that's even a thing for the retro handhelds, but a lot of people like the RG, the AYN Thor. That's the go-to device right now, right? I think Anbernic should have made a dual screen device to go against that. And to me, the brilliant screen on the RG477M, I mean, if they really want to go crazy, they should just get two of these suckers, these screens, make a dual screen device, make it a Dimensity 8300. We already know the Dimensity 8300 is capable of external display. Have that on there. Give me 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM. The dual sticks, maybe try to make it where, a little better dual sticks, improved D-pad, boom, and then try to charge at least maybe $150 under the Thor. You know what I mean? So make it, if it's the base model of the Thor, have it be 199, right? Now, from a profit perspective, they're probably cutting a lot of profit from that. They might be selling it at a loss, um, but have it very, very competitively priced. So I think even if it was 199, 250, well, we'll say 199 or what have you, I just think it would be really compelling. Really compelling. Have it, or even have it as the price of the AYN Thor, the Lite, because the Lite is the Snapdragon 865, but have it priced to that model of the AYN Thor for the RGDS that it should have been, with the dual, same screen as the RT477M. That would be insane. I think people would love that, and again, Internet was going for a budgetary, device, but I feel like they cut so many corners, they really just reduced and deteriorated the quality of their overall device. At the end of the day, that's really what happened. And I just feel like they should have just went, just attack the Thor. That's the biggest device right now. It's one of the most popular devices, not the most powerful, obviously, because the Odin 3s come around the corner and whatnot. But that's the device everyone's talking about. It's like, hey, do that, So I think Amarin tried to have some bold tricks here, and I think it blew up in their face. I'm a little more forgiving. I think hopefully Gamma OS fixes some of this stuff. There seems to be a lot more issues than I thought after watching Retro Game Core's video, especially when it comes to like the audio routing, the speakers sounding really bad on it. So there's some things that I don't know if Gamma OS will even be able to fix at that point. But we'll see. What are your guys' thoughts? Leave me your comments in the comment section, obviously. But I'll leave it there. Test this tech. I'll catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.